Hi there, it's the Heir of Carthage bringing you an Empire Total War online commentary battle. This is actually a 4 vs 4 battle on the only 4 vs 4 map, which is the Finland map. And I was playing with the some of the other members of the BW clan. This is actually BW Angelos' army. He's also known as Pule230688 on YouTube. As you can see, or as you will see, we're all playing as the Marathas Confederacy. And our opponents, there's one Ottoman, 2 Americans, and another Marathas player. So there's a lot of Marathas here, which is funny because the Marathas probably never came anywhere close to Finland. But oh well. So the Ottoman has moved up his, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Nizam Cadet infantry, and he's duking it out with Angelos's Sikh musketeers and Bargir infantry, both of which are musketeers. I think he's got some Bargir infantry, although I'm not sure where it is. Angelos also has some Sikh warriors, which is melee infantry, and right now they're engaged with some of his cavalry against this unit of Ottoman infantry. So the fight opened on this side of the map, and this is actually this is Angelos' army. I was telling you wrong. The player on the far left for the BW, I believe, is BW Aleron. Alright, I'm back on. Let me give you a quick rundown on what's about to happen. Up front, you can see there's Sikh warriors of our opponent, which are melee troops that he's rushing into the wood to try and tie us down with, while they're going to fire at us with the US Marines that are flanking here. And these, there's another 5 units of Sikh musketeers behind them. Yeah, and then the American has quite a few units of US Marines, which are very tough line infantry. And then of course there's a general bodyguard for each nation, and some household cavalry for the American. I haven't ever told you my army yet, and as you can see, Alba and my army are opening fire on these melee troops, and as many of them as we can take out, the better. I'm going to rush my musketeers back. I have 2 units of Sikh warriors as well that I'm going to use to help tie down the enemy here. And I'm rushing away all of my muskets, and I'm going to move them out of the woods around onto the flank. My cavalry will come into view in a moment. I have 2 units of Sipahis, 2 units of Bargir Lancers, and the last unit of cavalry I'm going to have to wait to show you here in a moment. So here comes, my opponent is bringing up some Chaternal Camel Gunners, and some Sikh musketeers here, and I accidentally run into them with my musketeers, so they're going to get into a melee fight there, and I actually believe his muskets are going to be better in a melee fight. Yeah, so that wasn't a real smart move by me. My men are going to get tied down here. So I go ahead and rush in my cavalry and rout his camel gunners, and I have to show this just to make Angelos happy. I brought this unit of Chaternal Camel Gunners myself. It's probably Angelos' favorite unit. He likes to use them all the time, so he kind of inspired me to bring this unit. Yeah, they're really strong, and they don't rout very easy. Anyway, yeah, so I routed the enemy camels there, and in case you couldn't tell, I was being sarcastic about the camels. But and I'm trying to take care of his musketeers, and now I have come around to flank the enemy musketeers. Now in the forest, Alba and my melee troops are all taking quite a beating from the enemy Sikh warriors that came in. But that battle's going to last for quite a while, and the longer it lasts, the better, because it gives me an opportunity to wrap up the Marathas players' flanks. But the real problem is over here, where the US Marines are. These guys are outstanding infantry, and so they're going to really tear up our low-quality Marathas infantry. Yeah, all of us in the BW side thought it was pretty funny. Sometimes we all play as the same faction, and it just so happened the next in line was the Marathas, and a lot of us didn't really want to do it, but we decided to do it anyway. So here I bring in a cavalry charge against these Sikh musketeers, but it wasn't real effective because I think I just charged into some of my teammates' cavalry, so it wasn't the smartest move I've ever made. Yeah, I'm still getting used to Empire, so just have to get used to it. Finally, I've routed this unit of musketeers so I can bring the full brunt of my flanking attack in. And again, I'm going to stop recording and come back on in a moment. Alright, it's a few moments later, and I've brought around the full brunt of my flanking force. Let's get one close-up on these camel gunners here. Yep, my amazing heroic camel gunners reloading their rifles there. They're helping out in this flanking force. They're missile cavalry, as you can see. And I'm moving up my muskets to bear on the flank of this other Marathas player. But as you can see, that a lot of Alba's troops are routing and failing, and it's because they're facing overwhelming odds. But he's doing an outstanding job of holding the line. A really good job of holding the line. So yeah, I have some cavalry over here too, harassing his marines. But his marines are tough, and so my cavalry is really not going to do much to him. I'm just trying to keep him moving in and out of square formation, so as to benefit our muskets. Yeah, so now my men are right next to his flank, and they're going to be pouring on fire. So this is going to help us a lot. Here they are reloading. Wish they'd hurry up, but I doubt these guys have real high reloading skill. Here we go, about to give him a volley. Let's watch the volley. There we go. Yeah, that didn't look overly effective, unfortunately. You can hear some elephants in the background. That's because I know Alba has some elephants, and there's some enemy elephants back in the background as well. Yeah, so it's a really messy fight, and it really could go either way. Alba's getting beat up really bad, and my flanking forces are making good headway, but the question is whether they'll be able to do it in time. And I'll come back in a few minutes to show you what's happened. Alright, here comes Alba's elephant general's bodyguard, and they're charging into these US Marines, and they're going to give them quite a thrashing. On Empire Total War, elephants aren't real easy to kill unless you're using stakes, or you get off some really good musket volleys on them. Because as you can imagine, taking down an elephant with a bayonet would be quite a task. And so I had my Bargears in there as well, but they're pretty weak, so they're not going to do a whole lot. Anyway, I've moved up my muskets to start pouring in fire on these last few Marine units. You can see the other Marathas player has basically been completely routed. He has a general unit back here that I turn my musketeers around, and as you can see, if you shoot the elephants, you can get rid of them. Those guys just got plowed right there. There's my men hunting elephants. In any case, I want you to see what happens here in the end. We have the reason why I might have mentioned this video as my zoo creatures video is these Marines are about to be attacked by several different creatures all at the same time. I'll let you see that here in a moment. They're making their last brave stand, but now, for the first time, this battle's actually in favor of the Marathas Confederacy of the BW. Angelos and Aleron are finishing off the American opponent on the other side, and Alba and I are about to finish off this American on this side. Yep, so we've got his Marines surrounded now. I'm giving them some musket fire, and these Marines are starting to waver, and they go ahead and break. Yep, this is a kind of a fun battle because the Marathas are really different. They're not very good because they don't have any skirmishers, so they're not a very competitive faction in some ways, but they have some pretty unique units, but with the camels and the elephants and whatnot, so it makes for some interesting fighting. So now all that's left is this last Marine unit, and we're just going to charge everything we have at them. So here comes all of my muskets, all of Alba's remaining forces. I have some cavalry left as well, I think. I know I have my camel gunners. So this turns into an awesome melee fight here at the end. These Marines really get quite a thrashing. Here comes camels charging in. Here's my muskets, camels, and then to top it all off, we've got elephants coming in as well. Yeah, so these Marines, they didn't know what they were signing up for. I guess they signed up for a class in biology or zoology, because they're sure getting to see a lot of wildlife. Yeah, I just thought this was funny here at the end. There's camels and men being thrown everywhere. Probably the elephants are killing as many of my men as they are the enemy. Yeah, see, here's my men all over the ground as well, getting chucked by elephants. That's pretty good stuff. It's too bad the US Marines didn't bring a couple of sacks of peanuts. They might have been able to get these elephants to go away, but unfortunately the elephants decided to play. And then I'm sure the smell of the camels made this fight even more interesting. If had it been real, there went one of my guys flying from the elephants. Anyway, the Marines finally, in front of our escaped zoo animals, they finally break, and we win the battle. As you can see, that was a victory for us. For some reason it put my name down here as well. I can't remember which one's actually me. Maybe the one with the picture. Yeah, in any case, there's our opponents. You can see that was an interesting game. It was fun. Hope you enjoyed the video. A lot different than our normal Empire video. There was no skirmishing or anything. It was mostly all line infantry and melee infantry. So if you feel like getting a lot of people killed, you should play as the Marathas Confederacy.